Alright, welcome back to another video, guys. This is Octez, and I will be doing a Year 8 Season 3 Defender tier list. I've already done an attacker tier list, so I'll leave a link and a pop-up on the screen, so if you guys want to go check that out. I've included a new operator RAM in that. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So I have all the defenders up here, A, B, C, D, E. We're not going to be using E, E is just a placeholder, so yeah, I've got all the defenders here. Let's get right into this. Alibi, A tier. I feel like Alibi has already fallen off. She lost her 1.5 times, and that basically meant that she wasn't able to roam effectively as much. I feel like her gadget is pretty niche. Like, not a lot of people use that Alibi for a gadget, and I'm pretty sure she's lost her impacts now, so she's not very good at. She's not as good as she was at roaming. She's always a very good gun, don't get me wrong, but she's not good as she was. So I put her at the bottom of A tier, maybe even B tier. Rooney is definitely an A tier defender. Having a DMR on defense is just crazy, and her Rooney gates can burn so much intel. And the fact that she has the passive where she's able to melee make vertical rotation holes, but just by punching with her like robotic arm is very, very cool, and it's like good for making rotates because it means you don't have to always rely on bringing like a smoke to you or mute or like a castle for head holes. So that's another advantage of playing Rooney, and she also has a very good gun to make up for it. Zowie is an S tier, probably the best defender in the game right now. Her and Solis, I'll put her at Solis. I'll put these three out. These are the trifecta of the best operators in Siege right now. These three operators need to be buffed. Like, Zowie can actually solo hold sites. Like, I think she has 5 right now, which you get like sporadically through the round. I feel like you need to get 3 at the start, and yeah, she needs to be nerfed. She's literally the best defender. She has a very, very good gun, impacts, and a deagle to make head holes on. She's literally the most versatile defender. If you don't have an Zowie every round, you're trolling. Solis is the same in that regard. She's literally got like a perfect kit. Think about it. She has a shotgun, which is very, very good, especially with the shotgun buff. She has the P90, a very, very good weapon, which is with a very fast DPS. She has the SMG11 with impacts as a 3-speed roamer, and she can actually deny plant from below. She can actually see where the drones are coming from, which in ranked may not seem like a lot, but let's say they have 5 drones in CCTV on border. You know they're pushing CCTV. Like, it's that easy. You're able to see players on drone. You're able to see certain operators like Jackal and Nook when they're on their ability. It is stupid how ridiculously Solis is OP, and she needs to be nerfed. Venom, I'd probably say, is like the least OP out of all of them. He's a trap operator, but the fact he can actually lock down 5 different rooms like with a gas that like literally impairs your vision is just not very fun to play against. And yeah, he's probably the least OP, but these 3 are like the trifecta of Siege operators that need to be nerfed right now. All 3 of them need to be nerfed. Fenrir not like as nerfed as much, but the other 2 need to be nerfed a lot. So yeah, moving on onto the other defenders, I'm going to put Bandit in A tier. Like, being able to bandit trick is a high skill now, but there are a lot of stuff like Maverick tricking, Hibana tricking, Ace tricking, which can like prevent the bandit trick, and like he's not as good as he once thought was, where used to be only thermite, and once you've killed like the thermite, you won the round. But now that like with the addition of like secondary hard breach, secondary EMPs, like Bandit is not as good as he was, and I feel like Cade is a lot better, so I put Bandit in A tier. Warden is S tier right now, especially with the like Ying being played a lot of flashes on a lot of like very good operators. Warden is very good, and he has a 1.5, so he's basically the new Alibi from a couple seasons ago. Warden will be getting a nerf in October, so hopefully that can sort of slow down his pick rate, because people running around with Warden is just not very fun to play with. But yeah, still a very good defender, and I feel like he needs to be nerfed along with the other 3, but just not as much, because I feel like the game is it's a very defender-sided meta right now, so hopefully Warden can get nerfed. Valkyrie again, the like ability to have like 3 different cameras like covering your blind spots is very, very good, and a good Valkyrie player will know like to when to C4 from blown, etc. So yeah, these are the 5 best defenders I'd say in the game right now. Moving on, we got Clash. Clash is a C tier. Clash is just bad. She needs to get a rework. She just doesn't fit the game. It's just not very fun to play. And nobody has fun playing Clash, and nobody has fun playing against the Clash. So she needs to be reworked. Castle, I think, is an A tier. Castle can single-handedly like win you sort of defense rounds, like having certain strats. Let's say the attack doesn't bring a sledge or a ash, or breaching charges. Like, Castle can delay so much time, especially in high elo. Like, time is key and pivotal. Like, having a good Castle player that knows how to make rotates and knows like what to do is just so good, and that's why he's an A tier defender. Next we've got Kaid. Kaid's an S tier, being able to get hatches on a lot of maps and having 2 very, very good guns. The August by no means like a bad gun. Don't know why the 1.5 times got removed. It's not like anybody's going to roam with Kaid. And the TCSG is still a very good gun, so it's S tier. Thunderbird is a dogshot operator. I'd honestly say Thunderbird is the worst operator in the game right now. Like, she brings no utility. Like, her gadgets are just like useless, especially when it's like the game's a one-shot headshot. Like, she lost her C4 and impact grenades, which made her a good roamer. She's a mid-tier gun at best, like the gun's not that good, and the bearing 9, she's just so useless, like, compared to the other operators, like, why would you want to play fucking Thunderbird? Guevara, also C tier, not a very good operator, especially in high elo. Not great to play against. Like, it's just like in high elo, once like teamwork and people know how to play the game, people are just not gonna like. People are just gonna like push the team, hold flanks and stuff like that. And like once you see a Guevara play, you literally know what they're gonna do. All right, moving on, we have Dog. Dog, I'd say, is a B tier defender, maybe even A tier. He's good because he's a 1.5 on defense, so he's able to like sort of like play long angles and hold positions. And his like his buff to Doc, where he just gets back to anyone gets back to full HP, is very, very good. And basically, he's a very big buff to Doc. It basically made Thunderbird obsolete, because why would you want to play Thunderbird like over Doc? Like, Doc is just better. Doc can like rotate holes as well with his like secondary shotgun on the bailiff. So yeah, Doc is the B tier solid defender. Pulse, I'd say Pulse, I'd normally put him A tier, but like Solus just does everything Pulse does and better. Like, why would you play Pulse when you have a Solus? Like, the only thing Pulse has is a Nitro, and I guess he can see like normal like, but Solus is just a better version of Pulse. Like, two better guns, impacts which are arguably better than Nitro cells because you can impact trick and stuff, and just make holes and just do like with runouts, like throwing an impact on the wall and then running out to shoot someone on cams. Like, why would you want to play like Pulse? But yeah, he's not a bad operator by any means. I'd put Capcan B as well, maybe even A. Like, I'd put him in A. We're in a very like TDM oriented mirror, so I've said it before. People like to rush a lot. People don't drive for Capcans, so you can get a lot of free kills with Capcans. Capcan's got a good kit, Nitro cell, and a very good gun. So yeah, keep Capcan at A. Echo, I'd put in B tier. Echo's sort of fallen off ever since his yokais became like visible again. They used to be invisible, but he now has 2 of them. So yeah, a good Echo player is very, very hard to play against, because like a good Echo player don't even know they exist, because they hide themselves in a sort of a corner on the map and they just go on the Echo drones and wait until they're planting. But yeah, once like if Echo's ever the last one alive, he's basically fucked, because like you just shoot the drone and then you've lost the round. Like, you won the round because like Echo's probably on the other side of the map camping. Well, I'd put in A tier, being able to like destroy like utility and stuff like that, like nades, stuns, etc. Ying charges is just very good. Like, he's also good at doing capital bolts as well. So I'd say Wamai is very good. Good gun, 1.5, and he's got a impact grenade, so I keep him at A tier. Ella, I've got B tier. Ella's just mid. Like, there's so many better trap operators. Like, why would you play Ella over Fenrir now? Fenrir is just literally a better version of Ella. Better guns, just like better everything. So yeah, Ella's sort of obsolete. The Chanka I'd put in B tier. Like, I don't know why, but every time they buff the Chanka a shit ton since he's came out, and every time he's just a B tier defender. So yeah, he's just not that good. I think Frost used to be an S tier because she had a shield. She still has a shield, but the Frost rework is definitely enough. That I wouldn't even call it much for rework. It's basically enough. Like, there were so many like better operators they needed to nerf, and they just nerfed her for some reason. But she's still a good defender. Like, not a bad pick. Mute S tier. Mute can literally block off like all the attackers' utility. He can block nomads. He can block like you can mute trick. You can block Hibanas. You can block like Dockerby calls. You can block like stuff like that. He's just very good, and a shotgun the SMG11 just makes them a very good pick on defense because you can make rotate stuff. Mozzie, I'd put an A tier. Being able to get drones is essential. Basically, you can remove 3 drones and like hack them and then put them in good positions, so you can basically play as like sort of a Valk pick. So yeah, I'd keep Mozzie in A tier. Very good guns as well. Legion buff has made him like an S tier defender. He has 9 Legion mines now, and like they do a lot more damage, so he can like sort of just place them in like places and just hold off all the cutting points. Like, having a Legion and Fenrir as a combination is going to be deadly, in my opinion. So yeah, having him in S tier is definitely going to be, like, his rework has been very, very good. Alright, moving on with Jaeger. Jaeger I put in A tier. I'd actually like argue that Wamai is better than Jaeger right now. Like, I heard Jaeger is getting a 1.5 times mid-season, so maybe that can like stir up his pick rate, but he's just not that good right now. I'd also pick Wamai in like basically every scenario. Like, I feel like Wamai's gun is better because of like the magnification. Like, being able to throw on my discs is more like flexible than just putting down a Jaeger placement, and just mid round Wamai's a lot better. Melusi I'd put top of like B tier. I'd essentially just put her like there because she's good at denial and she's good at stuff like that. So yeah, I'd put her like that. Maestro I'm actually gonna put in B tier. I think Maestro is really, really undervalued. Not a lot of people play Maestro for some reason. I think Maestro deserves a buff. He hasn't been used a lot in recent time. And his gadget's sort of like obsolete because like there's a lot of ways to destroy Maestro cameras now. You can just go up to melee it. His NMG just isn't as good without a 1.5 times sight. I think a 1.5 times sight Maestro would be fucking crazy, and I hope they do that. Anyways, moving on, Rook, C tier. Rook's kind of mid. Why would you play Rook over Doc? In low ranks, I can see why people play Rook. But Doc is just fundamentally better in every regard. And yeah, the only thing Rook has is impact grenades over. I think if they gave Rook a Nitro Cell, maybe we'd be talking. But I think only 3 armors have a Nitro Cell, so Rook Nitro Cell would be good. Smoke, S tier. Best defender in the game. I think Smoke is better than all of these 3 because Smoke is always good, but he lost his shields, which means I think I want to bring him down a bit. But he's still very, very good. SMG11, the SAS shotgun very good. His gadget can literally win you rounds just by like denying the clock, and good for like tick damage. So yeah, Smoke is an S tier defender and will always be probably. Like Smoke has not been changed since the game came out. Oryx I'd put in B tier. I think ever since he lost his 1.5 times, he's basically just a shit roamer. There are way better roamers to play. Like just play Warden. Like Oryx is just dog shit. Like his gadget's not that good, and yeah. He's good for climbing up hatches like late round, for example, library and chalet. If they're doing like a mez take, you can just like run downstairs to the bar and run up the hatch in the library and just flank them. Thorn is A tier. They gave him 1.5 because of his elite, and now they've paid the price because he's just very good. Like his her gadget isn't that great, but just having the 1.5 times is just like such a big deal on defense. It can single-handedly win you rounds because of the scope, and now she gets paid a lot more because of that. So yeah. So I think she's good in that regards, and hopefully they buff her gadget and remove her 1.5 times, and that would just be great. Goyo is B tier. I mean, Goyo is really good at denying like plants and utility, and can just like overall time wasting. So if you pair a Goyo Smoke and Tachanka on like bank bottom floor, and you can just waste time so much, I think he's a really good pick, but I wouldn't pick him for a lot of things. I don't think there's actually any D tier defenders. I think all the operators on defense are pretty good. Vigil I'm gonna slot in B. Vigil's good at roaming, good at wasting a lot of time, and if you have a really good roamer who knows what he's doing and knows that his main objective isn't to get kills, but rather to shoot drones and waste time, then I think you've got a good shout. Then Vigil's in a very good state because of like the good Vigil players are very good, but bad Vigil players are literally just dog shit. But yeah, I feel like Vigil has a high skill gap in terms of like being able to roam. But yeah, this is my list. No D tier operators. Maybe Cav's D tier. Move Cav down to D tier. I still think Thunderbird is the worst defense operator in the game. Maybe even the worst operator in the game. But yeah, this is my list. These three operators need to get nerfed. Azami, Solus, Fenrir. But yeah, have a good day, guys. Take care. See you guys later. Have a good one.